When it comes to storytelling, one of the most important aspects about it can be summed up into one single word. That being perspective. And perspective is something that Choujin X does extremely well. I would say the way perspective is handled in this story, due to such a well execution on Sui Ishida's part, it easily makes it one of my favorite aspects about Choujin X. For example, a very important part is this airplane. That wasn't beautiful. That makes this second rate. First rate work would look more like this. A passenger plane crashed. Behind the hill, apparently. That's nearby. It was a terrorist attack. They say the culprit might be a Choujin. They get away with doing whatever they want. Those Choujin. You know, since they have all that power, they could at least do something good with it. You're probably wondering what makes this plane so significant. Still, the plane. Pretty amazing there were 200 survivors. The hull was the only part that was really burning at all. And the frame. Most of it hasn't been damaged. It's weird. Now with that being said, everything would seem to be normal for the most part. 200 people survived a terrorist attack. A terrorist attack was unsuccessful, which is inevitably good in the end, right? So this essentially means that a bad guy had not won at the end of the day. At least, that's what we should think. I am Chandra Hume, a smoke Choujin. Behold, a strange cloud has engulfed the plane. Did this mysterious smoke keep casualties to a minimum? Something really doesn't quite add up here. At first, we were being told that there was a terrorist attack taking place on the airplane. But now, it turns out that the very smoke being used in a said-to-be terrorist attack could have potentially saved lives. Which it did because the airplane had 200 survivors. Nothing is really adding up. If there was really a terrorist attack, wouldn't there more than likely be some people injured? Especially since the culprit of this attack is a Choujin. Now why would Chandra Hume bring out a document saying that the smoke was saving lives when apparently there was a terrorist attack on the plane? If Chandra Hume is a smoke user and is keeping casualties to a minimum with his smoke power, then how was a Choujin involved in a terrorist attack? Well, that's the thing. There wasn't a terrorist attack. The news and social media had lied, which altered Azuma's perception on Choujin. They get away with doing whatever they want. Those Choujin. Since they have all that power, they could at least do something good with it. This says a lot about the world we live in. If the media were to lie about a situation, any impressionable person wouldn't know any better and would wholeheartedly be manipulated by what they had seen and been told. This is what makes perspective and understanding both sides of any story important. When visiting the site of the said-to-be terrorist attack, not a single person was injured, yet the media had said that a terrorist attack took place, which had caused the Choujin to be painted in a negative light. The news and social media had lied. They caused people with superpowers to look like bad guys, and of course, it isn't at their own expense, because they make money through people following and believing in these stories, which just goes to show how cool social media really is. Social media doesn't give a damn about you. Social media doesn't give a damn about what you do with the information that they give you. Foolishly, unknowingly, you're turned into a victim. With utmost ignorance and trust, whatever action you make with the information that you've just learned is not only going to affect those around you, but also, whether you know it or not, it's going to affect you. Choujin are forced to deal with the backhand of society due to the lies spread about them on the news. This says a lot about the world of Choujin X, and this lets us know how the world itself deals with Choujin. A majority of people would undoubtedly fear people with superpowers, not only due to the fact that they don't understand these individuals with abnormal powers, but also due to the fact that the media is telling them that Choujins are bad. Choujin are only bad because this is a concept that is being pushed in front of people's faces time and time again. And if they are constantly being told that Choujin are bad, then they're eventually going to think that Choujin are bad as a whole. By feeding these people this information, they are undoubtedly creating prejudice without having to actually create prejudice. And this is all due to the simple fact that through relaying information, people will begin to create a prejudice on their own standing and on their own merit. When you think about it, it's very scary and dangerous even, because it's manipulation without having to manipulate. And the craziest thing of all is how simple a person can be manipulated. Just from a lie, and just from others believing that lie, has caused so much damage for the society and the everyday life of people with and without power. And unfortunately, in the world of Choujin X, the people with superpowers are the ones that you should inevitably fear, for better or for worse. Even with an organization designed with the sole purpose and intent to protect others, fellows like him are targeting people with aptitude like you. Aptitude? Like, for farming? I suppose you might have an aptitude for that too. But I mean, people with the power to help others. Now, what exactly would happen if that power were to get into the wrong hands? I'm gonna use this! Good going, Azuma. You're the town hero. I'm gonna have my way with the little lady! Azuma! That's going too far! Although society is fed information that would more or less make people with superpowers look like villains, those people are not the ones that anyone should be afraid of, even though understandably a Choujin would be no different to that of a monster. But instead of fearing those monsters, the real monsters to be afraid of are the ones created by society. Anyone who is led to live a lie through the warped perception of the world that they currently live in would undoubtedly even turn a hometown hero into a villain.